Well, hello guys. So I finally watched the new Spider-Man movie and I will give both a non-spoiler and a spoiler review. So let's start with the non-spoiler review. Spider-Man Brand New Day wasn't a multiverse or planet-threatening film. This film focused on Peter and main antagonist's characters, and that's what made this film great. This movie was mostly a character study of these two characters. I liked how Spider-Man was complete Spider-Man here. He was already an experienced and intelligent hero. In the previous three MCU Spider-Man movies, he had the same arc where he learned to become a hero and understand the true meaning of being one. But now he already knows that, and this movie didn't repeat the same arc that all three of his previous movies had. Punisher and Hulk also added humor and fun to the story. I liked they didn't make Spider-Man dependent on Punisher or Hulk like they did in previous movies. They were in the movie, they were his allies, but Peter was never their sidekick. I actually really liked Spider-Man and Punisher's dynamic. They were great and funny together. Their dynamic was one of the best parts of the story. This movie handled Peter's character really well, and I will talk more about it in the spoiler section. This Spider-Man was really bad in the first two movies as he appeared more like Iron Man's sidekick than Spider-Man. Then his character became a bit better in No Way Home. They finally made a story about him, a story that revolved around Spider-Man characters rather than Iron Man. But this movie made him completely good. He is now a great Spider-Man. Instead of Uncle Ben, this Peter's heroic actions are connected more to Aunt May, which is fine. I don't mind it. It's way better than him constantly remembering Tony Stark. So MCU Spider-Man is really good now, but his lore, his two first movies is still bad. I don't know how to think about it. I have mixed feelings about his overall character. In Civil War, Uncle Ben was his driving force, like it should be. Then in the next two movies it became Tony Stark, and now it's Aunt May. So his character isn't consistent, but I like him much more now. I just hope they keep him like this. The love story of this Spider-Man is still bad though. So this movie had good characterization, good character dynamics, a great antagonist, a great protagonist, good action and good humor. So go watch it if you haven't already. It's a great film. This is the first Tom Holland Spider-Man film that I genuinely thought was good. Now let's come to the spoiler section. The best part of this movie was Peter's and Jean's characters. We follow Peter's trauma and loneliness. We saw how he tried to isolate himself and metaphorically killed Peter Parker. Spider-Man became his only identity. The trauma that pushed him to go out every day and do heroic things was Aunt May's death. Now this still isn't true to his original character because it's supposed to be Uncle Ben's death. Peter failed to stop the criminal who later killed Uncle Ben, and that's why he could never ignore someone in danger again. Every innocent person he failed to save reminded him of that guilt. But in this movie it was Aunt May's teaching and death that made him become Spider-Man. That's fine and it's still better than Tony Stark, but I still prefer Uncle Ben being his motivation because it makes more sense. We also saw all the stress affecting Peter physically, and he started losing his consciousness and turning into a harmful spider. This symbolized that the man behind the mask was dying. His identity as Peter Parker was slowly fading away. Now let's come to the main villain of the movie, Jean. Jean had a similar kind of story. Her sister was kidnapped because she was a mutant. That event completely changed her and filled her with hatred. She abandoned her humanity. She started hating humans as a whole because she believed they would never accept mutants. Because of that, she didn't care about using or killing innocent people to achieve her goal, which was to free her sister. I already knew that the head of the defense organization was lying. I knew he was hiding things from Spider-Man and doing shady stuff. I actually predicted that plot twist. Since Spider-Man became an obstacle in Jean's way, she threatened MJ to get to Peter. His loved ones were once again put into danger because of him. Jean didn't care about killing MJ because she had no sympathy for humans anymore. In her eyes, every human was evil. Now this is one of the things I hate about Spider-Man, his no-kill rule. Even after Jean killed so many people and threatened to kill MJ, Peter still refused to kill her. He endangered countless innocent lives because of that rule. This is one of the main reasons why I now prefer Invincible over Spider-Man. Invincible actually tackles this theme where innocent people die because of his inability to kill villains. After experiencing those consequences, he eventually starts killing villains when necessary to save innocent lives, while still giving them a chance to redeem themselves if they want to. His character has many layers though, which are hard to explain here. You can watch my videos on him. So let's get back to the movie. Spider-Man refused to kill Jean even after she threatened MJ. Even Punisher told him to kill her, but Peter still refused. And we saw the consequences of that. Jean controlled Hulk, caused massive destruction, and probably got many people killed. But the movie never talked about that. Then we reached the ending where Jean was captured because of Spider-Man, and the defense organization started experimenting on her. That was when she learned that her sister had died. She completely lost control and went on a rampage, no longer caring about anyone. This was the moment where we, as the audience, truly felt bad for her. We understood her pain and the hatred she had been carrying all the time. But by then, she was targeting everyone, whether they were innocent or not. She had completely abandoned her humanity. Spider-Man then arrived and tried to talk her down. Jean refused and told him that he was just like her. Here we saw the parallels between them. Both Jean and Peter had powers, both went through terrible tragedies, but they chose different paths. Jean asked Peter to abandon his humanity as well, to leave Peter Parker behind forever and became nothing more than an evil spider. Peter replied that he would be both. That line showed how he finally accepted both sides of himself, Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Throughout the movie, we had seen Peter reconnecting with his Peter Parker side. He reconnected with his friends, and even Punisher advised him to stay close to the people he loved because he understood the value of that. By the end of the film, Peter finally learned to balance both sides of his life. He then reached out to Jean again, and I liked how he genuinely tried to save her instead of defeating her. Jean entered his mind, and we saw Aunt May. Jean realized that Peter had gone through similar pain yet still chose to remain a good person instead of losing his humanity. Then we got the best moment of the movie. Peter assured her that she wasn't alone anymore. Then he took a bullet for her. That completely changed Jean. We saw Peter defeat the evil, not the person. Jean then helped keep him alive. We never saw Jean again after that, and I'm excited to learn more about her and the X-Men because I know almost nothing about them. Anyway, this was a great ending. Spider-Man saved the main villain instead of killing her, and then Jean saved him in return. Peter reconnected with his friend and the story came to an end. So the movie was really about these two characters and both of them were excellent. They made the story emotionally strong. Besides them, the movie also had good action, good humor, and fun side characters like Punisher. The only bad part for me was MJ. I still don't feel any chemistry between Peter and MJ in these movies. I also didn't like how the other heroes never came to help Peter. I also didn't understand how Peter was able to afford all of that. He was supposed to be poor and struggling to pay his rent. Yet he had all that technology, high-tech, computers, and gym equipment. He didn't seem to have any financial problems. Spider-Man 2 did a much better job of portraying Peter's financial struggles. We never saw Peter struggling with his college, his rent, his money like we did in Spider-Man 2. The film never showed us his other struggles. So that's it for today. Tell me your thoughts in the comments.